Welcome to the Catalyst Sale Podcast. Whether you are a sales professional, not in sales but interested in helping people solve problems, or a founder CEO who is looking to grow your business, you'll find practical tools, stories, and experience you can apply to your role. I'm your host, Jody Mayberry, and I'm here with the founder of Catalyst Sale, Mike Simmons. Hello, Mike.
Hello, Jody.
Well, Mike, we have a big announcement. I'm just going to cut right to it. We have a big announcement, or you have a big announcement. What's going on?
The kids are back at school.
Well, I know that's certainly a good thing for you since you work at home. But I think there's something else, isn't there?
Yeah, I've been working on this for a while. And everybody who's been listening to the podcast, you've heard a couple of different versions of us talking about the workshop, Sales for Non-Sales Professionals. Really excited to announce Demystify Sales, Sales for Non-Sales Professionals. And the course is now live and available on our Kajabi site.
That is big news. And I've seen a lot of the work Mike has put into it. And I think this course is incredible. Let's start, Mike, with the story behind it. Why did you do this course?
There are a couple of reasons. One, I wanted to be able to deliver some tools and content that people who aren't able to work directly with Catalyst Sale would be able to apply in their business. There are a number of folks out there who struggle with sales for whatever reason. It might be a confidence thing. It might be they just don't feel comfortable about it. It could be they have just seen all of the tips and tricks that are out there and easy button type approaches that are out there that just don't work. And they've become frustrated with that type of content. And I wanted to get past that content and just say, look, there's a framework, and we talk about it. Sales is a thinking process. There's a framework, an approach, a set of tools and methods that you can use. And if you apply those tools, methods, framework to your work, you can increase your capability and increase your confidence significantly when it comes to sales. And remember, sales is about helping people solve problems. It's about connecting the dots between a problem that exists, whether it's known or unknown, and a solution that exists, whether it's known or unknown. You've created some really cool solutions out there in the marketplace. These solutions you deliver to your customers, they don't know about them in many cases. Sometimes they don't even know about the problems that exist. So by going through the course and leveraging the tools that are available, you can increase your capability. And I wanted to be able to do it in a way where I could support a much larger group of people than I can one-on-one or through workshops or through some of the public speaking that I do.
And a course is a great way to reach a broader audience. And there's people that I know might not be able to work with you directly. And this is a great way to do it. What I like about the course is I feel like we've got everything Mike has to offer. I don't feel like you really held anything back. It's like, this is it. This is what you can learn from Mike Simmons. This is what Catalyst Sale is about. And here it is in a course. So give us a look at how you developed this content.
Yeah, so the content's been developed there's this period of time where you continue to add clay to the mold, or so we're just adding individual components based on things that I had seen in the market and experience I had as an individual rep and then leading sales teams and working with direct teams and indirect teams, and then starting the business and working with customers. So you go through this period of just adding and adding and adding. And then over the course of the past, I'd say 6 months or so, maybe a little bit less than that. But over that 6-month period, it was about just continuing to trim things backward. So trim things off of the mold and really sculpt this into a course that was that's really easy for folks to consume and apply practically. So as much as we've provided some really good information in the podcast and have never held back, and we answer any question that comes up, pretty direct about experience, even come back and correct things if things change over time. What this course will do is it will save you the time of having to go back through all of the episodes of the podcast, pull out the individual nuggets that you might want to apply. And beyond the concise, curated content, we've also provided some tools that we use with the organizations that we work with and that you can use in your business to help improve your capability when it comes to things like call planning, or when it comes to things like account planning, or when it comes to things like mapping out your customer decision-making process and journey and business processes and approach as a sales rep. All things that are important if you want to create predictability and be successful in sales.
So tell us a little bit about the course itself. What are we going to find in there? What are you teaching us?
Yeah, so it all aligns with the revenue operations model and the 4 pillars of sales success. So the 4 pillars are sales skills, and the revenue operations model is an understanding of specific concepts. The first concept in revenue operations is know your customer. And you need to know your customer both at an individual and an organization level. The second concept is know your business. You need to understand how do you execute as a business? How do you create predictability in your business? And beyond creating predictability and delivering information back, delivering results to your customer base, there's a sales process that you should be following. And that sales process will help you create predictability in the way that you forecast inside your business, which helps inform you on where do you want to make investment. The third concept in the revenue operations is focuses on the sales rep. So as an individual rep, how do I go about engaging with customers or engaging with prospects? What does that process look like? And when you pull all 3 of these things together, you have this understanding of both your customer, your business, and your rep approach. You can create a much higher level of predictability in generating revenue as a business. If for whatever reason one of those 3 is out of balance or out of alignment, it can create friction inside your organization and start to slow things down. Once we get past revenue operations, then we get into foundational sales skills. And these will not come as a surprise for folks who've listened to the podcast for a while. The first one is around gathering data and conducting research, which is really all about asking questions, pulling information together, and making sure that you're prepared to have that conversation with the customer. The second one is around story, and that story from the perspective of the customer, understanding who all the characters are, understanding the scenes that are at play, so the environment that you're operating in, understanding the transition that the hero or your customer is looking to go through, and delivering a plan that helps them make that transition from where they are today to where they want to be in the future. Then we get into time management and a high level coverage of time management, leveraging things like an Eisenhower box to keep track of what you're doing and what not to do and where you should be spending some more time. Then we get into project management, and project management is about compelling people to action, calling people to action, assessing risk, creating that plan. There's not any sales rep that I know that has made their number, or business owner that's grown their business by buying their own product. So calling people to action is really important. And that would be the 4th skill or 4th pillar in sales for non-sales professionals. And when you pull that together, those 7 components, if you know your customer, you know your business, you know how you approach things, you understand the importance of gathering data, you understand the impact of story, you understand where you're spending your time and what you should be saying no to, and you have some base level project management skills, you can be very successful in a sales role or in a role where you're generating revenue for your business.
Who do you think this course is for?
Designed it for the non-sales professional, the traditional non-sales professional. It could be a technical founder, could be a solopreneur, freelancer, someone who's trying to build out their own business. They've got a problem that they feel passionately about, a solution that they've created to help address that problem, but they just don't feel comfortable or don't know the details behind or the process that you can apply when it comes to sales. So any professional that's out there who's done work in their own right, has an area of a level of expertise in one area or another, and is now looking to make that transition into a role where they need to generate revenue. That's who this course is for.
All right. Wonderful. This course is, well, I've gone through the content. You've put a lot in there. You talked about figuring out what you had to take out of everything that you know to boil this down into a course. Yet there's still quite a bit in there. How did you decide that what I'm recording right now, this lesson, this is essential in order to demystify sales for a non-sales professional?
Yeah, the key piece was looking at different patterns that exist out in the marketplace. Like, where do sales reps fail, or where do founders fail when it comes to growing their business? There are some who fail because they don't really understand how their customer makes a decision, or they don't understand the process that the customer needs to go through in order to make a purchase. And those are 2 different things. A decision to purchase is one thing. going through the actual function of buying something is something a bit different. So when you look at the challenges that folks run into when it comes to generating revenue, they all start to cluster around these 7 areas. It's either I'm not effective in the way that I engage with customers. I have some ambiguity inside my business about how we operate. I'm not doing the work relative to gathering data. And then you can go through each of those other items and you can see how if any slack or any gap in each of those areas creates risk, creates friction, and can slow things down. So this was handled through a process of data analysis over a period of time and just saying what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. You'll not hear anything about vanity metrics like activity metrics. They don't really make sense. It's not core to what we're focused on here. So that was part of the process, is going through and just kind of narrowing it down to the bare bones. What I want to have happen is someone who goes through the course, goes through the practical application exercises, applies this in their business, they will grow their business. And if they don't grow their business, I want them to contact me directly and I'll provide direct coaching to them to help them on that end.
Oh, that's a bold statement right there.
Yeah, if they do the work, it will impact their business. I'm certain of it. So if they do the work and can demonstrate that they've done the work, and it's not impacting their business, then the next question comes down to, do they really have a product to sell into the market? Does the market exist? And that should have been uncovered in one of those first 2 areas. But yeah, I will work with them directly and we'll figure out where the gap is. And maybe the lessons learned from that get added into version 2.0 of the course.
Very good. Well, where can we find the course?
So there'll be a link in the show notes for the course. If you go to catalystsale.com/course, you'll link directly out to the landing page that we have that'll take you to where we host the course on Kajabi. And for podcast listeners who purchase the course by the end of September, there'll be a promo code that'll be supported, which will provide the course at 35% off.
All right. That is a heck of a deal. Well, we've covered the course and what's in it and why you did it, what's behind it, and what we're going to get out of it. Do you have any final words for us?
The final word is go out there, get the course, do the work, put it into practice, provide the feedback. And I would love to hear how it is working for you and how it's changed the way that you think about your business, how it's helped you ask different questions of yourself and your business, and how those questions have impacted the way that you think about your business. And ultimately, what I want to hear is how much more successful you are as a result of going through this course and applying it in your business, and how it's impacted your ability to generate revenue.
Fantastic. I know I'm looking forward to that feedback. The first group to go through the course and hearing what they have to say about it and the impact that it makes. So thank you for creating that course, Mike. I personally know how much work you put into it and how much time you devoted to this. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you being here, Mike. You're just a heck of a guy.
Thanks, Jody. You're a heck of a guy too.
All right. Thank you, Mike. And thank you for listening to the Catalyst Sale Podcast.